Today we're going to go over on how to make your own safety strap, tagline slash rigging strap, timber hitch strap. I could go on and on. I'm just going to pull off 3 of these at 8 feet. Okay, so here's one. So what I'll do is I'll come down here and I'll grab it where it's at 8 feet. I'll put my hand on there and I'll just unravel it. All right, what I'll do is I'll get it to the same length where I pulled the other one off. So now I have 2, okay? And then I'll do one more. Okay? All right. And then what I'll do is I'll just gather these together. And so now I have 3. So what I need to do is cut it. This stuff's pretty tough. A good pair of scissors, no problem, go right through it. All right, so I cut that first one, and then where I have these doubled up, where I met it to equal the length for the third one, there. So there, we have our 3. All right, you guys, these are the utensils you're gonna need to make your beautiful braided, double-eyed straps, okay? You're gonna need a piece of wire, okay? This is shrink tube. This is tape, electrical tape, some type of lighter to burn the ends with, a clothespin, a pair of scissors, and this is an old Sharpie that I've deconstructed and have made it into a dowel. That works really good, okay? You need the clamps. Any type of clamp, vice grips, big clothespin, C-clamps, anything just to hold your straps. Just remember to cut the other ends so they're all separate, okay? All we got to do is just burn the tips on these really quick. Takes 2 seconds. 1, 2, okay. Flip around to the other end. 1, 2, okay. And then just set that one aside. Grab another one. This just keeps things from hanging up when you're pushing the dowel through. Any of those little frays will catch on something and it will, it will pull it out, like pulling a string out of a sock or something. It messes it up. Okay, so we got all 3 there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna color code these. I'm going for a dark color, all right? So what you wanna do is you just wanna scribble on this, and as you pull it out, just scribble on it. You just want to color code them. And then what other color are we going to do? Yeah, red or orange. Let's do red. This is definitely red. Let's go with yellow. And then what I do is I'll tie a knot. I'll get them all 3 like this. And then I'll just make a knot. This just holds things in place. Okay? So that's all I did, all right? And so here are all 3. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my clamp and I'm just gonna clamp this down and hold it in place. Okay, when you braid, it's real easy. Just decide which one you want center. You can start with the yellow in the center, you could start with the blue in the center, you could start with the red in the center, okay? Just get one in the center. And then all you have to do is either go right to left or left to right, all right? So I'm gonna go right, left, right, left. And now we'll start a braid. Right, left, right, left. And I'm just keeping it tight. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Then you'll want to pull these out, get them straightened out. And then if you forget where you left off, just look at the one in the center, and that came from the left, so you go right. All right, and see how the one in the center is from the right? and then you know you got to go left. So whatever one is in the center, just look to what direction it's coming from, and you'll remember if you lost track, if something distracted you, or if you got to come back to it. Left. And just, you know, keep it tight there. You'll feel it. Get your fingers up on there. Keep it nice and snug. It's good to keep it tight because that means the strappings are connected nice and together. There's no stretch in it. You know, it's when you get that shock load on your equipment that causes the damage, because they're not tight, and that just causes it to spring load on itself. It's like free falling something with slack in it and it catching. So since these are 2,500 pounds a piece, times 3, 7,500. And I never exceed, you know, I'll probably never exceed over 500-600 pounds on these when I'm using them for lowering. And then if you double them up, you know, that just multiplies it times 2, you know, when you're using them. The braids are nice and consistent. It's like welds, you know, just like welding. Everything's nice and consistent. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here because I need this amount here to tie back in and make my eye, okay? So to do the eye, what you have to do is disconnect this side that's got the knot in and just leave it on the ground, all right? And then what you have to do is you take your clamp, okay? You want this pretty far out here so you can work. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this clamp on here to hold these guys. Okay. So what that does is that keeps that braid from unraveling, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the bigger clamp and I'm gonna clamp this out here because I wanna be able to work out here. So I take the bigger clamp and I just clamp that right there. That holds that, okay? So then what you wanna do is you wanna bring the two together like this. And then all you have to do is look here to the left and look over here to the one which is left, okay? I'm gonna move it up a little bit more. So there's our braid, all right? So see the blue? See the blue? Okay? So since you wanna do the blue one, or actually what I would do is I'd say let's do the yellow one, okay? So here's our braid, okay? So there's the yellow, that's all you gotta do. So the yellow's going this way, the yellow's going that way. You see it? Right here, this one's going the same way, all right? So you're gonna start with the yellow. So what you need to do is take your clothespin and just clothespin those two off, all right? Because you're not even gonna use those, okay? You're gonna do these later, all right? This is where the wire comes in, okay? So since we're going with the yellow, and you gotta bring it up here, and the yellow's right here, and the yellow's right here, all right? So we're gonna take our wire, get it back up there, make sure it's lined up. We're gonna take our wire and we're gonna follow the yellow wire, okay? Or the yellow strap. Sometimes you'll have to pull it apart a little bit. It ain't gonna hurt nothing, just find it. Okay, so I'm following the yellow, all right? Once I get it through that first one, what I'll do is I've just taken a Sharpie cap and drilled a hole in the very end of it, all right? You can take the drill bit and just stick it through there and keep it lined up and drill it through. And then what you wanna do is take the lighter and you wanna kinda heat that end up so it smooths any kind of rough piece of plastic that came off from the drill bit when you drilled through, okay? So you take this and you push it through that hole, And then all you do is you tie a little knot on the end of the wire. That's gonna do, it's gonna allow that little homemade dowel to follow the wire through the weave, okay? All right, so just slide the cap on there, push that thing down there, so now it's down in there, right? All right, now we're gonna go back to following the color, all right? I see the yellow, it's right here, it's going around. I'm gonna pull it apart, stick this through, and then I'm gonna keep following the yellow. The yellow's right here. Just gonna pull it apart, stick it through, okay? And then I'm still following the yellow. Where'd it go? It's right there, okay, it's right here. It comes around. I'm doing this really fast. You guys can just kick back and do this real nice and slow so you don't get lost. Sometimes it gets hung up. Most of the time it goes pretty smooth. So I'm still following the yellow, and you want to weave through this pretty far. I'd probably say, let me count how many I got here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5. 5's good. All right. So that shows you how good this works, because I'm pulling on this wire and I can't pull it because it's weaving through here already. So that just shows you how nice it locks in when you're doing a weave or a braid. Okay, so my line's right here, so I'm just gonna poke it through right here. All right. Yeah, everything looks good. You just check to see if it's still following that yellow one. Okay, it's going around. It's following it. It's following it. Yep, it's following it. Okay. All right, so now what you want to do is you want to pull this wire down like this. All right, you don't have to worry about that. You'll worry about that after you get it through. So all you got to do is take your dowel and get it started in there, okay? Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your yellow and you're gonna put it in the cap, okay? Just put it in there like that, and then take the other part of the Sharpie and just push it through, all right? So once you got it through, you pull that through, okay? So now what we're gonna do, I wonder if I should, yeah, I can remove this one. I don't need that other one. I can just leave that one on there. Just kind of clunky in the way. All right, so I gotta follow. So what I gotta do is just pull this wire through. All right, get it started. Try not to pull it all the way through. If you do, all you have to do is remember just to go back up and through the color. All right, so go like that, take the dowel, push it through. You don't have to use the dowel to do that. You can use your finger, but keeping that on the back of that little strap keeps it from coming out of the dowel, so that works good. Okay, so I'm gonna tighten it up, and I've got to follow the wire. So I just push this through like this. All right, here's my yellow strap. And the more you do this, the faster you get at it. All right, and then I'm just gonna, all right, and then pull that dowel through there like that. Okay, and put the yellow one in there. I'm just following my colors. That's all I'm doing. I'm following my colors. All right. Okay. push this through, pull it through, or push it through, or whatever way you want to do it. And then just tuck it in there. And then push it through with that. All right, we're almost done. Just 2 more weaves and we got the one color done. Okay, and for some reason, if you get off on the weave, you try to follow the same pattern. But if it looks like it messed up and you weaved it all through, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But just try to get it perfectly wound through there on the same ones. If you're like me, you'll go ahead and redo it because I like things to be nice and right. All right, so there it is. All right, I've got that one. Then what I'm gonna do is look up here, and then I'm gonna feed it through just to get the slack out. I just want to get all the slack out, you know, so it's nice and tight. Okay, I like it. That's fine. Okay, so now what we want to do is we got the yellow. There's the blue. Okay, so and the red's already tied off. So we'll go ahead and do the blue. Blue's here, blue's there. Okay, so again, you take your wire, you put it through, and then you just follow the blue. I see the blue. The blue's right here. You come up. It comes up and goes back through here. All right, just like that. And then it comes around and it goes through here like this. And then it goes through here like this. You're just following your color, okay? That's all you're doing. These straps will last. You could have these straps for 3-4 years if you're good to them. You know, if you're not rough, you don't nick them with your saws. It came off, so I'm just gonna put it back on there. Okay, just following blue. That's all I'm doing. Following blue. I can't wait to show you guys on my other videos on how awesome these things work. And then I'm almost done. Look at that. Just following blue. Okay. All right. Okay. So I've already got it set, so I know I'm following blue. So I take blue and I put it in there. Then I pull on the dowel. Well, I should have just got it started first. So there, now I put blue back in there. So you just put blue back in there. And up. Just push it through. There's blue. Remember, it's just all about following the color. That's all it is. We are making an eye here. Once you do these quite a bit, your mind will develop a pattern and it will recognize, you know, the way it's weaved and where it's going. And see, this one went underneath. I had to pay attention to where it was going. It went around the bottom. Okay, and I just got one more. This is something to do on a rainy day, or unless you need them. You know, if you need them, you got to make them. Man, just pulling that wire through one weave it grabs. It's incredible. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Just gonna go through and tighten up everything. And so all we have left is just the one, man. There's my red right there. Right? So I just go red to red. Take this off. Okay, we can pull this through. And then we just go red to red. We follow the red. All right, she goes in here like here. The last one's easy because it's just a single one. The others are doubled up because you wove them back into the eye, or wove it back down from the eye, so it creates two. So the last one's really easy because we know it's a single. On this piece of wire, I just took a piece of shrink tube and put it on the end because it just makes it less grabby when you push it through, because there's so many little fibers in this nylon. So I'm just pushing my dowel through and then putting the red in there. This kind of stuff separates a tree climber from a tree worker. Okay, so there it is. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through and just tighten up everything really good. All you gotta do is pull on it and just kind of massage it around. All right, you see that? See how nice and woven that is together? All right, so that's why you need 8 feet. I mean, to make a strap that's about the size of the limb that you're going to use it on. You know, that's a hefty limb right there. I make them longer too. I do a variety of lengths because, you know, sometimes I need to have a long one to set a carabiner for line guidance when I'm setting up my rigging for lowering big pieces. You need to have some medium, small, long ones. And I probably carry Probably about, I try to carry at least 10 of these up with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this side. And then after I get done, guys, I'm gonna show you how to cauterize the ends. And if you don't have any shrink tube or tape, that's fine. But I recommend that you go to just a regular commercial electric business or company or shop that sells electrical supplies, and they'll have this shrink tube. You can get a pretty good sized bag for 10 bucks, you know. You could probably make, you know, I just cut these in half, and there's probably 15 to 20 of these that come in a pack. And so, you know, that's 30 taglines you can use these on. So you're about 20 minutes into making a custom safety anchor point tagline braid here. So what I gotta do now is just have to trim these ends off and cauterize them. So what you wanna do is just take your scissors, and you can cut it pretty close, okay? All right, so then what you wanna do is you wanna bend that just to stay away from burning the other ones. So you can just take a regular Bic lighter, if that's all you have, or matches if that's all you have. Okay, so I'll get it so it's on fire. Then what I'll do is I'll fold it back out, and then I'll take this and I'll just smash it, okay? And that spreads that out, and you know, you just watch them, just see if it, you know, looks like it's loosening up. But I haven't had a problem with one. These are surgical scissors, man. These things are awesome. You can get your hands on those. It's perfect. So I'll just, like I said, I'm just using the Bic lighter. I'll get it on fire. All right. Then I'll straighten it out, and then I'll just smash it. Okay. And then we'll just repeat that process with the other side. And then if you do have some tape, you know, if you got some really good heavy duty tape, put it on there. But if you don't, you know, if you don't have any tape that day, come back to it and tape them up. And then I'm going to do the other side. That's just a paperweight. It's just a piece of granite. I don't even know where I got it from. I just grabbed it, and it works good because it's polished and that stuff doesn't stick to it at all. So I will just tape them up and try to get it as tight as you can, you know. I've got some taglines that I'm going to show you guys that I've had for over, I think, about 3 years that I've used them for. And I'm going to retire them now and use them just for line guidance. That's what I'm going to use. Line guidance, meaning when you're setting up ropes for rigging to lower, keeping those ropes off the trunks of the tree, and setting them in anchor points of the tree that it's not going to put strain on the area where you're working. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shrink wrap right here, and I just cut them in half. I'll cut them in half, eyeball it. Then what you do is you just slide it over the eye and then down onto the area where you ended doing your splice. Okay, so I'll put it right on the very end there, okay? Then I'll just take the heat gun. I just put it on low, and I'll turn it. You can get it pretty close too. And what this does is, you know, it acts as a barrier, you know. Keeps those cauterized ends just from getting, you know, beat up and protected. Good enough for me. Okay, and then I'll just do the other side. So there you go.